Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the HIV manual extraction. First of all, we need to do the sample preparation. But actually, when you receive our SOP, I think it's very convenient for you to do the sample preparation. For example, if you get the plasma, you already know how to deal with the plasma. So today we are focused about the number 2, about the prepare of consumable and tools. For example, we need to prepare some 1.5 milliliter centrifuge tubes. Okay, when you are doing the experiment, you can calculate how many the tube you need, and you can prepare before. And the next is our magnetic separator standard. Okay, that is important one. And we also need to prepare some tips and some pipettes that are different than virus range. Okay. So when you finish the consumable preparation, and you need to prepare the reagent. For example, we needed the extraction kit and amplification kits. Okay, so this is the extraction kit, amplification kits. The series number is S3046E, and this is the extraction kit. The series number is S1001. Okay, so for example, the first thing we need to do is take out of each component from the kit and place them at the room temperature. Allow the reagent to equilibrate at the room temperature. Then we need to vertex each of them respectively for later use. So you need to pay attention to that. There is no ice in the bottle. For example, I will set an example about the PCR mix. So as you can see here, there is much ice in the tube. So you need to wait until there is no ice. Then we can use the volume in this tube, and we need to vertex then centrifuge it. Okay, right now I think we need to take out each component. So when we are waiting the preparation of the consumable, we can to do some realize about the component of the kits. For example, the first one maybe is HIV PCR mix. Okay, I will take it out to set an example. This is the PCR mix. Okay, so we need to take out PCR mix. This is the first one. We have 2 tube PCR mix. And the next is RT enhancer. Okay. And as you can see, this is RT enhancer. We also place in the 96 deep well. And the second one is HIV enzyme mix. Okay, this is internal control, right? Internal control. So I will going to find out the enzyme mix. Okay, so this is the enzyme mix. This is the number 3. Okay, number 3, 2 enzyme mix. And then the number 4, this is the internal control. We already take it out. Okay, internal control. And we also have the positive control and the negative control. Okay, this is the positive control. Okay, strong positive control, and low. Okay, and the weak positive control, and also the negative control. Fine. So we can, and we already have the reference A, B, C, D. We also need to take it out. Okay. So this is for the amplification kits. But for the extraction kit, we also have some components that are including. For example, the first one is lysis buffer. Okay, first one is lysis buffer. Okay, this is the lysis buffer, and you can find the name on the tube. Okay, alright. The second one is nucleic acid washing buffer 1. And this is the washing buffer 1. Okay. Washing buffer 2. And proteinase key. Okay. Proteinase key. And also the washing solution elution buffer. Right? So we can wait the reagents to the room temperature and to make sure that there is no ice in this tube. So for example, we can still wait. Okay. So and the next things we need to make sure about the extraction procedures. For example, we need to prepare the reagent. Today we are going to do about five sample. For example, we need to do reference A, B, C, D, and we need to do a strong positive control. So this is the 5 sample. But when we are prepare the reagent, we need to prepare more than 2 of the number. If you need to prepare 5 number of the reagent, you can prepare more than of the 5. It's about 7. So you need to make sure the reagent that you are prepare need to more than 2 of the reagent that you are testing. Okay. So right now we need to do the centrifuge about the reagent, and firstly we can do the vertex. For example, I already prepared the vertex. But in this vertex, we need to make sure that we can vertex the liquid in the tube fully. For example, if the liquid are only around the well, we need to make sure that the liquid are around the well. So that is the important thing. Okay. So if the liquid are stay on the tube of the bottle, this doesn't work. We need to make sure the liquid that's absorbed to the well. So this is a good operation sample instance. Okay. So let's do it one by one. So after you finish the vertex, you need to do the centrifuge. For example, we already prepared the centrifuge. So actually right now I need to do the centrifuge for the region I need to use, and I will prepare by my workmates. Okay. And we need to centrifuge for 6 to 10 seconds until we can mix the liquid fully. Okay, so after when you finish the job, take out the sample, the reagent out of the centrifuge. Okay. So when you are doing the experiment, you need to do like this operation. And the next things we need to, when we finish the centrifuge and the vertex, you need to make sure that every component we already finished this both operation. We need to vertex and centrifuge. So all of this we need to finish the job. Then we can to move next door. Okay. So the next things we are going to do is about the reagent prepare. We need to prepare about the PCR lysis buffer mix. For example, we can do some reference from the manual, but because the manual I already told you that for HIV lysis buffer mix, we need to prepare 400 microliter internal control lysis buffer and 0.4 microliter internal control. For example, for one test, we need to prepare 400 microliter lysis buffer and 0.4 microliter internal control. So today we are going to do about 5 samples, but we need to prepare more than 5 samples. We need to prepare 7 samples. So we need to prepare about already 2,800 lysis buffer and 2.8 internal control. So let's ready to do the operation. And we also need to prepare the PCR master mix. For example, for one test, we need to prepare HIV PCR mix 26 microliter, RT enhancer 1 microliter, and the mix about 3 microliter. So for 7 samples, we need to prepare. For 5 sample operation, we need to prepare 7 sample reagent, the test reagent, and we also need to prepare the reagent that we can calculate to mix together. Okay, right now, so when you finish the operation about the reagent prepare, about the lysis buffer and the PCR master mix, so actually right now I think we can to do the next step. So I will send my workmate to help me to do the operation. Okay. Okay, so for the next step, we are going to do about the extraction manual method. So, but actually, I need to do some point that we need to the reagent prepared for each experiment need to be prepared for 2 more people than the number of sample in each batch. So this is a key point to make sure that you have enough reagent to use. And actually, we are still need something we can to do the operation. And right now we are ready. We are doing the lysis buffer mix. And okay. So for 7 sample, we need to 2,800 microliters. So we are going to prepare about the reagents. Okay, so this is for the license buffer, and we also need another PCR tube to Okay, after we finish adding the license buffer, we need to add the rate of the internal control. So we need to add the internal control about for one tube, and it's about 2.8 microliter internal control. So let's find out the internal control we can add into the reagent. Okay, after we finish the prepare of the license buffer mix, we need to do the centrifuge, and firstly we need to vertex and then centrifuge. So make sure that the liquids are around the way of the tube, then we can find out it will mix fully, and then we can go into do the centrifuge. And okay, for centrifuge we need to centrifuge for 8 to 10 seconds. Okay, after we finish this operation, I think we already finished the preparation of about the license buffer mix. Then we need to do the preparation of the PCR method mix. You can do the same operation like the manual SOP. So I already finished the prepare of the PCR mix by my workmates. So that's it, the PCR mix we need. The next things, so we need to do the SOP. Firstly, we need to add the 20 microliter of proteinase K and 400 microliter of lysis buffer mix, and then we need to centrifuge the sample tube at the centrifuge for 10 seconds. So right now we are going to mix the 20 microliter proteinase K and 400 microliter of lysis buffer. So right now I need to keep adding about the lysis buffer 400 microliter. So this is for one sample. Okay. This is for sample 2. Okay, right now I think we already finished the operation about the lysis buffer, and we need to add proteinase K to the lysis buffer mix that we already finished. for each test, we need to add about 20 microliter. So we are going to about the 20 microliter. Okay. So the next step is about to centrifuge, and but before the centrifuge, we need to vortex, then centrifuge for filling. Okay. So this is the sample. We can do some mark about number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and the next step we need to do the centrifuge. Okay. So I think we can do the centrifuge right now. Okay, when you finish the centrifuge, we can do the works. When you finish the vortex, we can do the centrifuge right now. Already the second is about 8 to 10 seconds. Then take out of the components about the PC, the proteinase key and the lysis buffer mix together. So this is a prepare for the file sample. We can also prepare another sample to make sure that the mix very fully. Okay, so after we finish the prepare of the 220 microliter proteinase key, and we need also prepare the 400 microliter of lysis buffer mix. The next step, we need to transfer the 800 microliter specimen. For example, right now we are going to do about the sample for reference A and the reference B and the reference C and the reference D. We also need to decide some of the sample for the about ready the strong positive control. So I think we can do adding to the tubes that are ready before. So let's do it one by one. So please remember the volume is 800 microliter specimen to adding the PC at the reference A to the tube we were ready before. So make sure that the volume is 800. So please make sure we need to add the tube already before already prepare the region and the pertinence key and the license buffer. Okay. So this is for the reference A. And the next thing we can do the same operation to reference B, reference C, and reference D. So when you finish the prepare of the reference D, the next sample is to set the positive control as the sample. So make sure that the positive sample. For example, we are going to do the strong positive sample. Positive control, yes, strong positive control, okay. Okay, right now I think we are going to do the next step. After we finish adding the 800 specimen into the 1.5 microliter centrifuge tube, we can cover the lead and the vertex them for about 10 seconds. So we need to vertex after we finish the vertex and we finish the vertex and the centrifuge, we will to do the place them at the room temperature for 30 minutes. So we can firstly we need to do centrifuge the samples, and the next step. Okay. So we need to wait for about 30 minutes at the room temperature, and then after the 30 minutes we can do the centrifuge. Okay. So the next step, we need to place the tube at the magnetic separate stand. So we can do that. So reference A and reference B, reference C and reference D. Stand for the magnetic separator stand. We need to slowly take the solution out after 5 minutes. So we need about 5 minutes in this standard. And then we need to take out the component in the PCR tube. For example, we need to careful and do not touch the brown matters, because the brown matters is about the magnetic beads. It can absorb some gene segment. So please make sure that the magnetic beads that's absorbed to the well of the tube. And also we can carefully take out the solution and discard. So actually right now I need to do the sample example operation about take out the solution. Okay, as you can see, we need to slowly happy to make sure that the magnetic beads we cannot touch the magnetic beads. So please make sure that we need to take out the solution fully, and then we can do another tube. For example, I will introduce a method. For example, when we are using the pipetting, we can take the range to the 1000, and then we can take out the component easily, the solution easily. But remember, take out the solution carefully, that we do not touch the lysis buff magnetic beads. Okay, this is number 2. And right now, when you finish taking the solution out, we can do the next step. So let's do it one by one. Okay, so the next step, we need to add the washing buffer 1 and washing buffer 2. For washing buffer 1, we need to add 500 microliter. We need to add 500 microliter washing buffer 1. And then we need to add the washing buffer to about 200. So when we finish the two regions adding, we can to do the vertex for 5 seconds. Vertex. For 5 seconds. And then centrifuge them immediately. So right now I will do the centrifuge. So after you finish the centrifuge, you need to put on the stand, the separator stand for 3 minutes. Alright. After the 3 minutes, you can aspirate the solution out of the tube completely by putting the puppet tips into the bottom of the tube and discard the solution. So right now, when you are doing the 3 minutes waiting on the separator, you need to move out the solution one by one, and I will set for example. So firstly, we need to take out the components about the solution in this tube, and after 1 minute we need to do it again. For example, we can do the pipetting by the 1000 microliter to take out all of the component of the solution in this tube. So, but you also need to wait for 1 minute, because after 1 minute waiting, there may be still some liquids that stay in the bottom of the tube. So after about 1 minute, you need to use a small range of the pipetting to take out the solution. But in this operation, you need to be careful that we do not touch the magnetic beads, because it contains some gene segments. Okay, so that is the operation. Right now we finished the taking out the solution, but we need to wait 1 minute. We can use another range of the pipette, and then we can do the pipetting out. Okay, So this is the second operation. We need to take out of the solution that stay in the bottle, and to make sure when we finish the pipetting there is no remain liquid in the bottle. So the second step is to do after 1 minute of the first step. Okay, after we finish the two steps, we already take off all of the reagents. And then we can do the adding some buffer. For example, in this SOP, we need to add the elution buffer about the 35 microliter. Okay, so we can prepare about 35 microliter elution buffer to wash down the magnetic beads. But here I need your attention that in this section we need to make sure that we need to wash in the flow of the magnetic beads to make sure that there is no magnetic beads that absorb in the wall. Alright, let's do the job. For example, you need to pay attention to my operation. As you can see here, we can pop it up, pop it down, pop it up, pop it down, pop it up, pop it down until that you can see there's no magnetic beads that absorb in the well. So the volume is 35 microliter. Pop it up, pop it down, pop it up, pop it down, to make sure that the magnetic beads can be washed into the bottom of the tube. Okay, after we finish the adding solution, we need to place them at room temperature for 10 seconds. So right now we need to take out of the magnetic separator and wait for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay, sorry. 10 minutes. Then we can add the volume, the liquid volume to the PCR mix. So when we finish the waiting for 10 seconds, that's the 5 sample for 10 seconds, for 10 minutes, and then put the centrifuge tube back to the magnetic separator, stand for 3 minutes. Okay. So we need to wait 10 minutes and then put it back to the separator standard for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, and we need to move the liquid 30 microliter to the PCR master mix. Okay, so for example, we need to wait about 3 minutes and take out 30 microliter for one test, and then mix with the 30 microliter PCR master mix. So right now we are going to get our PCR tube. Okay, as you can see, my workmate already prepared for the PCR mix 30 microliter. And the next step we can to remove the solution on the magnetic separate standard 30 microliter to the PCR tube. So let's do the job. So when you are getting out of the solution, you need to make sure that we do not touch the magnetic beads. And the next step, when you finish adding the gene pack segment and the PCR master mix, the next step we can do the next things in the SOP. So we need to cover the tube and tightly works and vortex and centrifuge immediately for the next amplification using. So we need to get out the lead, and then we need also centrifuge and the vortex. So that is the extraction part of our nucleic acid. But when we finish the lead, cover the lead cover the tube tightly, we need also to vortex, and then we need a special centrifuge to do the centrifuge about our PCR tube. So that is about the extraction part of the operation.